Hi viewers, welcome to the channel and to a new video. In this video we'll be working with VariableSet and images. The idea of this video is to show you how to make your 3D models more parametric, manipulating parameters within the VariableSet object, and also how you can facilitate your workflow using images that contain the profile of your 3D model. If you find this video useful, please don't forget to leave a like in this video. First of all, I will create a new document on the start page of FreeCAD pressing empty file. I will save this document as vslot video. Okay, as you see in the workbench selector, I am on the PartDesign workbench, and this will be the workbench that I will use to show you how to design the vslot model. Before I start designing the vslot model, I will create a variable set in the document, pressing this icon. As you see, the small window appeared. I have to define my first property on this window here. So the first property I will name to profile size, and I will add this property to the profile dimensions group. So I will rename here to profile dimensions, and I will set a value of 20 millimeters for this property, and then press OK. Now if I go to the tree view and select the VariableSet object, as you can see I have these parameters. I have the profile dimensions group. Inside this group I have a property, the profile size, with a length of 20 millimeters. Now I will rename this VariableSet object to dimensions. To do that I can go to this field here and rename to dimensions. Like this. As you see, I have the VariableSet object, rename it to dimensions. Now I'm going to close this tab page here, pressing this icon. And the next thing that I will do is to import a sample image of the profile that I'm going to create for the vslot model. So I will open the file explorer and select this image here, Ctrl C, and on the FreeCAD document, Ctrl V to paste the image on the tree view of the document. Okay, next what I'm going to do is to place this image here in the axis plane, because the profile that I'm going to create will be attached to the axis plane. Okay, to do that, first I will select the vslot sample image on the tree view, and then right click and select transform tool. As you see on this task panel, I'm using 9 degrees for the rotation increment. So what I need to do is to drag this point here of the x-axis and rotate the image 9 degrees. As you see, now this image is oriented in the axis plane. So I press OK here, and the next thing that I will do is to calibrate this image here. To do that, I have to make a double click on this image. On this task panel, I click on this button. Okay, and I zoom in here. I click on this point and I zoom in here, and I will pick this point here. As you can see here, I have a length of 138 millimeters for this distance. I will change here to 20 millimeters. So this will be the start size of the vslot model. I press enter. Now I press OK here. And now that I finished this all change, I will create a body object as the default of PartDesign workbench. So I press this icon to create a body object, and next I will press F2 to rename this body to vslot model. Okay, like this. And next I will create a sketch on the axis plane, like I said before. So I click on the create sketch icon and I select axis plane. Okay, now I am on the sketcher workbench, and what I'm going to do in this sketch here is to draw part of this profile here. I will draw this part here. Okay, so first of all I will go to the sketcher geometries, this tools here, and select the polyline tool and start creating the geometry. I will zoom in here. I will click on the vertical axis and create this line. As you can see, I can't see clearly the line that I'm creating. I can fix this. I need to change the color of these lines. To do that, First, I have to escape this tool and then go to Edit, Preference. Here I have to navigate to the Sketcher workbench and go to the Appearance tab. And what I will change will be this black color. So I click in here and I select red color, and I click here and also I select red color, and now I hit apply, and now okay. As you can see, now I have this line with a red color. Okay, I click on this point here and then I create another line. This time now I click on the horizontal axis and again, and now I skip this tool and next I select the arc tool, and I will create an arc in these two endpoints here. So I click on the region axis, now I click on this endpoint and next in this endpoint, and now I have this geometry. If I skip this tool and go to the model tab and hide this V-slot sample image here, pressing spacebar, as you see I have this geometry. The next thing that I'm going to do is to create fillets on this geometry. So I will make the image visible, spacebar, and go back to tasks. And to create a fillet on the geometry, I will use a fillet tool available in the Sketcher tools. This tool here, fillet tool. So okay, now I zoom in, I click here and now here, and I create this fillet. I create a fillet here in these two lines. Okay, and I have this. Now I will select the parallel constraint and make these two lines here parallel. Okay, like this. Next, I'm going to hide these all constraints here, pressing this icon and select equal constraint and start setting some geometries equal here. So I will make this line and this line equal, this line here and this line equal, and now this fillet and this fillet equal. Now these two lines here equal, and next these two fillets equal, these two lines here equal, and now this fillet and this fillet here equal, and now this line here and this line equal. Now this fillet and this fillet equal. Now this line and this line equal. Okay, as you can see, I have 11 degrees of freedom. Now I will make this arc and this arc equal. Okay, now I will hide these all constraints again, pressing 2 times this icon, and I will resize these geometries. So I will escape this tool, and now I will zoom in here and drag this point to here, and now this point to here, and I have this. Next I go to this side here and I drag this point to here, and I have this. Now I drag this point to here and this point and this point to here, and I have this. Okay, now I can start setting the dimensions of this geometry. Okay, as you see, I have 10 degrees of freedom. Okay, so I will save this document first, and then I will select the dimension tool. So I will click on this point here, and now on the horizontal axis, and click off, and now I move this window to here and I press equal to call this expression editor. And now here I will set dimensions, the name of the variable set, and then I will call the property, the profile size, and as you can see I have 20 millimeters, but I have to divide this dimension by 2, so I set 2 here and I have this. Next I will set the diameter of this arc here. So first of all I will skip the dimension tool and then go to dimension, click on this arrow and select constraint diameter, and now I click on this arc here and I will create a new property in the profile dimensions group. To do that, on this field here I can click on this icon or press equal to call the expression editor, and now to add a new property I have to check this option, show variable sets, and now I move this window to here and I will change variable set to profile dimensions group. Okay, and the name of the new property will be hole. Okay, and the diameter of this hole will be 5.79 millimeters. So I press OK here and OK here to finish this. The next thing that I will do is to select the dimension tool and set the radius of this arc here. So I click on this arc here, I click off, and next I press equal to call the expression editor. And what I'm going to do here is to work with the profile size parameter. So I uncheck this option, and here I set dimensions, next profile size like this, and I will copy this text here, Control C. Next, what I have to do is to find a format that will give me this radius here, 1.11. So I will divide the profile here by 18 and I get this 1.11. So I press OK here, and next I go to this fillet, this small fillet here. I click in here, click off, and now I press equal and I pass this text here, let's say 0.015, and we get this. Enter, and we get a radius of 0.3 millimeters. And now I'm going to select this line here and this line here. I click off here, I drag this to here, and now I press equal and I pass this text here. I will divide the dimension by 11 and I get this. Okay, now I have 5 degrees of freedom. Next I click on this fillet here, I click off, and now what I'm going to do is to set a format here, and I will set 0.031 and OK here. And okay, now I have 4 degrees of freedom here. So what I'm going to do is to select these 2 lines here and create another distance. I press equal here, I pass this property, so I will divide by 12 and I get this 1.67, and okay here, and I have this. Now I have 3 degrees of freedom, so I will zoom in here and click on this fillet. I click off, and next here I press equal to access the expression editor. I pass this property. Okay, let's say divided by 14.4 millimeters, and okay, here I have this. Now I have 2 degrees of freedom, as you can see here. I have to set the distance from this vertical axis to this line here. So I click on this line here, and next on the vertical axis I click off, and next I press equal and I pass this expression here. I have to get 3.3 millimeters. So I will say 4, I will say 6, and I have this. Now I press enter and it's okay. Now I select this point here on the horizontal axis. I click off, I press equal, and now I pass the expression, and now I will divide here by 8, 4.2, 4.75, and I get 4.21 millimeters. So I press enter here and enter again, and now I have this. Let me hide this profile sample image here. I go to model and spacebar and also hide these all dimensions. As you can see here, I have the profile. Now I'm going to close this sketch, and the next thing that I'm going to do is to extrude the sketch using the pad tool. So I select the sketch and next the pad tool, and I choose to reverse this duration, and also I will create a new property for the length of this extrusion. So I press equal here, I check this option, show variable sets, and now I change to profile dimensions group, and I create a new property. I will name this as profile width, and I will set the length here to 100 millimeters, and then okay, and I press OK here. And now what I'm going to do is to create a polar array of these extrusion here. So I select the path operation on the tree view, and next I select the polar pattern tool. What I have to do here is to first fix the rotation axis, should be y-axis. So I go to the task panel. In axis, I click here and I select y-axis, and next I change the curves to full and I press OK. And now I press home, and here I have the V-slot model, as you can see. And now I select the dimensions object, and as you can see here I have the parameters. Okay, let's suppose that I want the profile size to be 30 millimeters. What I have to do is to go to this property and change to 30 and enter. And here I have this, as you can see. If, for example, I want to change the width of this profile here, what I have to do is to change this value here to something like 50 millimeters, for example. Enter, and I have this. If I want a profile size with a size of 50 millimeters, I just need to change here to 50 and enter, and I have this. If I want to change the diameter of this hole, I just need to go to the hole property and change to, let's say, 14 millimeters, and here I have this. So this is how you can work with the variable set in FreeCAD. If you find this video useful, please don't forget to hit like and share this video with your friends. If you want to support the content of this channel, you can do that. Just go to the video description and you'll find a link to the channel's Ko-Fi page. Or you can support the channel buying the books that's appearing on the screen now. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.